Hello everybody. In this video we're going to speak about tone. Listen to this conversation and notice how the voice moves up or rises and goes down or falls.
C63. Shh. What? Bear. Bear? Bear. Where? There. Far? No. Near? Yeah. Run? Run!
Did you notice? In each of these tone groups, yes, you have only one syllable, and so that's the nucleus. So it's all nucleuses. And as you see, each nucleus carries a change in pitch. This means that the pitch of the voice moves. It falls, it goes down, or it rises, it goes up. This movement in the pitch is called tone. So the tone, as we can see here, can fall or can rise. The tone is always applied to the nucleus only, okay? The nucleus is the only syllable in the whole tone group that will move in pitch, that will have tone. Okay, let's see if you can figure out the tone just by listening to it. We have here a series of sentences, and then to the right you have, yes, some answers from another speaker. You have the word where, the word who, what, yes, when. What you have to do is decide if it is uttered with a rising tone or with a falling tone. Okay? Listen.
C65. Example.
Let's go away for the weekend.
Where?
Let's go to Atlanticilio Go Go Go.
Where?
1.
I know who stole your glasses.
Who?
It was Mickey Mumpkin.
Who?
2.
I've got some bad news for you.
What?
I'm afraid your house is burnt down.
What?
3.
Excuse me, can you help us?
Yes?
Can you take a photo of us with this camera?
Yes.
4.
We're going for a picnic if you want to come.
When?
At midnight tonight.
When?
Okay, if you need, go back in the video and listen to it again until you're sure, yes, in which cases you have a fall and in which cases you have a rise. Are you ready? So let's check your work. In the example, yes, it is already marked here in these squares, but let's mark it directly on the words. The first where is a fall. Yes, the voice moves down, it goes down, the pitch goes down. So whenever you have a fall, you're going to mark it like a line going down, like this. High, yes, in the line of print. The second where is a rise, so the voice goes up. We're going to mark this type of tone going up, like this. Low in the line of print, as you see. Then the first who is a fall again, so you mark it going down. And the second who is a rise, so you mark it like this, low going up. The first what is a fall, the second what is a rise, The first yes is a rise. The second yes, it's a fall. The first when is a fall, and the second one is a rise. Okay? Let's see the second activity that appears here. It says you will hear just the responses of 54.2, that is the exercise that we just did. Listen and decide if it is the response to A or B. This means you're going to hear one of the two wheres, one of the two whos, one of the two what. You have to decide, okay, is it the fall or is it the rise? If it is, for example, in the case of where, if it is the fall, you know that it corresponds to the sentence A. If it is the rise that you hear, it corresponds to sentence B. So according to what you hear, the rise or the fall in each word, you have to decide, yes, which is the corresponding sentence that you need, A or B. Okay? So listen.
C66. Example.
Where?
1,
Who?
2,
What?
3,
Yes.
4.
When?
Okay. If you need, yes, play it again as many times as you need to recognize if it is a rise or a fall. And then, yes, you connect that with the sentences. Okay, if you have already done it, let's see the answers to this so that you can check your work. In the example, what you can hear is the option that corresponds to sentence A. Number 1 is B. Number 2 is A. Number 3 is B. And number 4 is A. Okay? So, whenever you mark intonation, the first thing you have to decide is the tonality. Yes, you divide it on groups. Then you mark sentence stress inside and you decide on the nucleus, that is tonicity. Yes. And after you have decided all that, you will decide the pitch movement, the tone that you're going to use in that nucleus. Okay? So we have seen that there are two possibilities, a fall and a rise, but there is a third possibility. Listen to these examples.
You mustn't worry. You mustn't worry. You mustn't worry.
Okay? All right. First of all, these diagrams that you see here, yes, this is called the voice range. The upper line marks the highest possible pitch of your voice, and the lower line in this diagram marks the lowest possible voice range, the lowest possible pitch of your voice. So inside you see that there are dots. The big dots indicate stressed syllables, and they are placed there within the voice range. And the small dots indicate unstressed syllables. Now there is a big dot that also has like a little tail drawn, yes? That is the nucleus, because it is not only a stress that is static, like the other stresses that you have here. It is a stress that moves inside the voice range. It falls. In this case, you see, it starts high in wo and then it goes down, it moves down. That's why it has this little tail there, yes? You mustn't worry, worry, worry. Yes, it falls. So this tone, this is called the fall. Okay? You see that here, yes, the symbol of the fall is beside the word. Okay, this is a problem of this book because of the printing problems that they had to mark, yes, the intonation. But we are going to mark it high going down like this, okay? You mustn't worry, worry, whoa, you fall today, yes? Let's see the second one. Again, you have the voice range, but see that here, the nucleus starts low and it goes up. Do you see that? It moves. This is what is called the rise tone. And it sounds like this. Worry, worry, worry. Yes? Now we have a third case here. This one, have a look at the diagram. It starts high, then it moves all the way down, and then it rises again. This one is called the fall rise. So these are the three tones that we're going to work on. The fall, the rise, and the fall rise. The fall rise sounds like this. Worry. See the difference with the rise. The rise is worry, and the fall rise is worry. Worry, the rise. Worry. Let me say the three of them. Worry, worry. That's the fall. Worry, that's the rise. Worry, that's the fall rise. Let's see if you can repeat after me. Let's see the fall. You repeat. Worry. The rise. Worry. The fall rise. Worry. Good. By the way, the symbol of the fall rise, as you see here, is like a little V. Yes? And it's not beside the word, it's also up here. And in this one, in the low, in the rise, yes, you start low and you go up like this. This should be the real markings, okay? So, what we're going to discuss in the future is the basic choice between fall rise and fall rise, okay? Here it says in chapter 2 for us in the future. In general, a fall tends to indicate that the information conveyed is or could be complete. Okay, let's see, this is important. When do we mark these tones? When do we mark a fall? When do we mark a fall rise? When do we mark a rise? Okay, so in general, the fall indicates that the information is complete. The idea is finished. Okay? Now the rise or the fall rise as well tends to indicate that there is something more to come. There is something more to come. This means that the idea is incomplete. This something more to come can come from either the same speaker or from a different speaker. We're going to see this later on, yes? The default tone, that is to say, the tone used if there is no special circumstances, if there are no special circumstances, for statements, exclamations, and commands and WH questions is a fall. So let's see. Normally, if you have a statement, an exclamation, a command, or a WH question, you have a fall. But if you have a yes/no question, you have a rise. And a fall rise will normally indicate particular implications. Fall rise is a little bit more complex. Yes, we're going to see that in the future. Okay. Let's see a summary of all this information plus a little bit more. Okay. If you want, pause the video and copy the information here. Copy this chart and have it in a separate page. Yes. Very nicely done with colors and everything, because this is what will help you then decide. This is like a summary of all that tone can mark. So this will be very helpful for you. So as I said, pause the video and copy this. When you're ready, we continue. Are you ready? Okay, let me explain. Let's see first the fall here. Okay. When do we use a fall? When the information is complete, we have seen this. So in a normal statement where the nucleus comes at the end, you will have a fall there, showing that the information is complete. The idea is incomplete. It's complete, sorry. This will normally happen in statements, in exclamations. Exclamations are always with a fall. In WH questions, yes, and in commands. Okay. What about the rise? Typically, you're going to have a rise in yes/no questions to show that the idea is not complete, that it continues, to show continuation. For example, if you have an enumeration of elements, you're going to have a rise in each of the elements of the enumeration, and when the enumeration finishes, you have a fall to signal that it finishes there. Also, when you have options joined by or, you have two options, this or that. Yes, the first option will have a rise, showing that there is continuation, there is another option to come, and then you will have a fall at the end, showing that the options are complete. It's the same structure, the same pattern as for the enumeration, when you are making a list of items. Yes? Also, the rise is used in WH questions that are asking for repetition, as we saw in the previous exercises. When you're saying, what? You're asking for repetition of information. You're not asking for new information. In the case of the fall rise, yes, it will be used to show contrast, to show implication. All this we're going to develop more in the future, okay? To show continuation also, like in the rise, you show continuation using the fall rise. And also sometimes to show doubt. When the speaker doubts, he may use a fall rise. So this is all in case you have one tone group in a sentence. But what happens if you have two tone groups in the same sentence? You have a sequence, you have a combination. So you're going to use a fall on the main part, that is to say, the part that completes the idea. And you're going to have a rise or a fall rise in the subordinate or dependent part that shows continuation of the idea in the following tone group. Also, you may have a rise if part of this sentence, if one of the tone groups of the sentence adds a comment or an afterthought after the complete idea of the fall. I know this is rather complicated to understand. Yes, don't worry. This is just like a general presentation of tone, all the things that tone can do. And we're going to, yes, develop all these more deeply in the future. But this is just for you to have a general idea now. Okay, let's do an activity. What I want you to do here is copy these sentences, yes, and mark tone. For that, what you need to do is divide the sentences, that is to say, mark tonality, divide the tone groups, yes, and decide where the nucleus is. Once you decide the nucleus, you will go back to the explanations of the chart and you will decide which is the proper tone that should be used in that nucleus. All right, so pause the video and do as much as you can. You're going to see that some of the sentences you don't understand or you don't know what to put. Don't worry about that. Just try to do as much as possible, okay? Good, so stop the video and work on it. Are you ready? Good. So let's check what you have done. Let's see the first one. When are you coming? The nucleus is coming, the last lexical item. In general here, you have no previous context. So normally, yes, the nucleus will be the last lexical item because you have no contrast or no given information unless you have a little dialogue or something. But in general, with no context, yes, the nucleus is probably the last lexical item. So what type of sentence is this? Is it a statement? Is it a yes, no question? Yes? What is it? Yes, it's a WH question. And what is the normal tone for a WH question? What did we say? When you're asking something with a WH question, the normal tone is a fall. So this means that the tone you have to mark here is in a fall in coming. I'm not marking all the other stresses or anything. I'm just interested in tone here, okay? To practice that part only, to focus on that. So, fall and why? Which is the explanation? Because this is a WH question. Let's see the second one. Come here. In this one, yes, the nucleus is here. And what is this sentence? What type of sentence is it? Well, this is a command. So here you will have a fall because commands are normally set with a fall. Let's see number 3. Are you sure? Are you sure? What type of sentence is this? Yes, this is a yes-no question. The typical tone for a yes-no question is a rise. So you need to put a rise here in sure, which is the nucleus. Okay, number 4 is a little bit more complicated. You have a tone group division here in the comma with a double bar because you have a pause. The first part is a complete idea. They are already here and the nucleus is here. If the idea is complete, you need a fall here. But then you have an addition here, the expression in fact, which is just a comment, an afterthought, an opinion that you add. And it's not important, it is secondary, it is subordinate. So this part here goes with a rise. Number 5, my name is Mary. Okay, this is a typical statement. It's a complete idea, it finishes, and so you need a fall, and the nucleus is Mary. Let's go to number 6. You can have sandwiches or cake. What happens here? You have two options joined by the word or. This means that there will be a tongue group division here before or, okay? So the first option will have arise, sandwiches, and then the last option where you close the list of options will have a fall. So this sounds like this. You can have sandwiches or cake. In number 7, we again have two tongue groups. We have a division here in the middle of the sentence. Okay, when you say after class, it's like, what happened after class? You're waiting for something else to be said. The idea is not to complete after class. What happened after class? We went home. So clearly, the idea finishes in the word home. So you need a fall here. And now this part, after class, is introducing the idea, and it shows continuation. The idea will continue and will finish in the word home. So this tongue group that shows continuation, you can have a fall rise here to show the continuation. This is the most common way of showing continuation, the fall rise. Or you can also show continuation with a rise. I put it between brackets. You have to choose one of the two, okay? The most frequent one is the fall rise, but the rise is also possible. That's not incorrect. Let's see number 8. My mother is an alien. This is a normal statement with a complete idea. So you need a fall in the last lexical item. Now, it's not normal for one's mother to be an alien, so the other speaker asks, what? This is a WH question, but this one is asking for repetition because the information is so surprising that the other speaker thinks that it heard incorrectly. So he's asking for repetition, okay? So in this case, WH question asking for repetition, you have a rise here. Let's see number 9. Okay, here you have divisions. You have a tongue group division here in this comma, here in this comma, double bar because there is a pause, and then you have the connector and, which means there is another division here in French, but with a single bar, okay? Okay, what is this? Okay, this is a statement, but there is an enumeration here, a list. So what did we say about lists? That we have to rise showing that the list continues, and then with a fall, we indicate that the list finishes. So we're going to have a rise in English, a rise in Spanish, a rise in French, and then a fall in Chinese, showing that this is the completion of the idea, the completion of the list. This sounds like this. I speak English, Spanish, French, and Chinese. Okay? Let's see number 10. Here again you have a sequence. You have two tongue groups. So you have a double bar here. Now, what do you think is the main part here? Which is the complete idea? In my opinion, or she's wrong? It is the first one, isn't it? She's wrong. This is the complete idea. This is the information that I'm conveying. So in wrong, you will have a fall. But then she adds a comment, an afterthought, after the idea is complete. She says, in my opinion. This is similar to number 4, where we said they are already here, in fact. This is the same. She's wrong, in my opinion. So you have a rise here. See that my here is in capital letters. This is to show you that the speaker is putting emphasis here. That's why I put the nucleus here. Otherwise, I would put it in opinion, which is the last lexical item. I move it to my because my, sorry, it's emphatic here. Okay. Right. Let's see number 11. In number 11, you again have a sequence. You have two tone groups. Let's see how this sounds. When they arrived, what happens when they arrive? You see that the idea is not complete there. It's like you're waiting for something more to come. There was nobody there. That is the piece of information that is the main part. So when they arrived shows continuation. To show continuation, you need a fall rise or a rise if you want. Yes. And then you complete the idea in there, here at the end, with a fall. Number 12. Stop that noise. This is a command. Which is a normal tone for a command? Yes, a fall. So you need a fall here. Okay. And number 13, what a nice day. What do you have here? An exclamation mark. This means this is an exclamation. So you need a fall again because exclamations are said normally with a fall. What a nice day. Last lexical item. Yes, that's the nucleus. And you mark a fall there. Okay? As I said, do not be overwhelmed by this. This is just, yes, to introduce you to all the things that tone can do and how it is used. You have to remember that the tone is only marked in the nucleus. That's why the nucleus, yes, is perceived as so strong. When you hear it, you immediately identify it because it has this change in pitch, the tone that marks it. Okay. So, let's see something else. Okay, here is another activity for you. So with this, we complete, yes, the three main features of intonation: tonality, tonicity, and tone. Tonality is the division of tone groups. Tonicity is the placement of the nucleus, where the nucleus is inside the tone group. Remember that you need one nucleus per tone group obligatorily. And finally, the tone that is marked on the nucleus. Have a look at this pair of sentences, and you have to tell me if they differ in tonality, in tonicity, or in tone. There is a difference between the two sentences in each pair. You have to decide what the difference is. So pause the video, work on it, and then we'll see your work. Are you ready to check this? Good. So let's see the first pair. What is the difference between these two? Yes, this one has two tone groups, and this one, the second one, number 2, has only one tone group. So the difference here is about the division of tone groups, and the division of tone groups concerns tonality. So the difference here is on tonality. What about these two? Well, both of them have one tone group. So the difference is not tonality. But here you have the nucleus in behavior, and here you have the nucleus in angry. So the difference is that the nucleus is in a different word. So the difference is here is tonicity. Okay, let's analyze this pair now. You have the same tone group division in both, so the same tonality. That's not the difference. What is the nucleus? The nucleus is once, and in the second one, the nucleus is once. So the tonicity is not the difference. The difference is that here you have a fall and here you have a rise. So the difference here is in tone. Let's see the other one, number 4. Okay, the division of tone groups is exactly the same. So the difference is not in tonality. But here you have the nucleus is on some and here the nucleus is on as. The nucleus is in pleased and here the nucleus is in very. So the difference is in tonicity. And in the last one, you have the same division, the same nucleuses, but see that the tone is different in the first part here. So here you have a difference in tone. Okay? Good. So that is all for this video, and I will see you in a future video. Goodbye, everybody.